Welcome back to the Tool Crib. It's been a few weeks. I've been on a job site here the last few weeks, and I've taken the time to really put a few of the multi-tools that I wanted to really test drive, if you will, through their paces during my last job. And the biggest one is going to be the Leatherman Free K4. So I wanted to come back, kind of give you guys my thoughts on what I think of the Leatherman Free K4. Now, if you watch my first video on this, you'll know that this is of the only free series of tools from Leatherman, the free P series, the T series, and the K series. The K series is the only one that I truly liked. The P series just doesn't do it for me because I think that the tool set that is within it, it's the frame on it is just too weak for a plier-based multi-tool for what I do. If you're a light-duty user, it may not affect you. Heavier duty users, I think it just doesn't get the job done effectively enough. And then there's the magnets within it and some of the tools that it incorporates that just do not mesh well with magnets, if you will. The T series is a little small, a little cumbersome. Again, some of the tools do not mesh well with magnets. The K series, on the other hand, is I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. I like the K series. Now, I have some good things to say about it, and then there's some things why you might want to veer away from the K series. It's all on personal preference and what you do with your multi-tool. I'll try to explain what I mean. Let's get started. Well, the first thing I want to talk about is all the good things that I found in the Leatherman Free K4, carrying it over these last few weeks. If you've watched my channel, you'll know that I carry a Leatherman Surge, and I have it on me just almost at all times. But because of the size and the bulk of the Surge, I always sheath carry it. This knife in particular, the K-Series knives, and for most people, you're going to pocket carry. A lot of people pocket carry your smaller multi-tools. I just gravitate more towards the larger multi-tools, so that's not really an option for me. But I found that the pocket clip, being able to carry this in the pocket, was extremely convenient. I love the fact that it has this deep carry pocket clip on it. Works fantastically well. Now the the K4, my apologies, it's getting just a touch on the wide side. The P2, oh my goodness, the K2 is going to be a little bit narrow because it does not include the scissors. So it's a little bit more pocket friendly, if you will. But the scissors are kind of an important thing to me in this particular multi-tool, and so I opt for the K4 as opposed to the K2. It's just to the point where it would start to get uncomfortable, but it was still okay for me. Now, the knife blade itself was just an incredibly useful blade out on the job site. I found this knife to be incredibly useful. It was just at a moment's notice, I was able to pull it out of the pocket, and I love the action on it. I love how easy it was to both unfold and fold back up with ease. It really works well. The lock mechanism is really good. I have, as of yet, have not had to touch this blade up. This is still the factory edge on it, and you can see it's kind of dirty from the last couple weeks of using it. Worked really well for a multitude of different tasks. I used it probably 2-3 times a day, depending, sometimes more. Really worked well. The knife is one of the big selling points. Just the length on it, the ease of use, how easy it is to fold up and to open up. It's just really worked well. Now, when we get to the other tools, the scissors is probably the one that I used the least. And I did manage to use it a couple times, cutting a couple zip ties, some tape, stuff of that nature. Really light duty tasks. So I didn't really push these too hard, but for everything that I put in front of them, they worked really well. They're not quite on par with the scissors of the Surge, but they do work pretty decently, and they're very nice to have and very convenient to have on you at all times. The next tools, the screwdrivers. Let's talk about those next. The Phillips in particular. The good thing about it, I found that when you're talking about this over some of the multi-tools that have bit exchangers, I found the extra reach of this to be very convenient. What I found to be a little inconvenient was the fact that it's not a full dimensional Phillips like you're going to find on like a Super Tool 300. I think if they would have found a way to give us a full dimensional Phillips out there in this styling, it would have worked a little bit better. That being said, it didn't work bad, and it worked for most everything that I put in front of it. I think I had one number 3 Phillips that I had to go back to the toolbox. It just wasn't enough to get it. For the most part, for 90% of the task that I put in front of it, maybe a little higher than that even, it worked really, really well. And I used it multiple different times. It worked very, very well. The flat driver. I found myself longing for a driver that was a little bit wider, like I find in my Surge. The Surge just has a better overall driver because it does not incorporate the package opener on here. Now, what I will say about this is on our job sites, we get a lot of equipment that comes in, and a lot of stuff is in boxes, and you have to cut through the packaging tape. This really saved the knife blade a lot. This thing works really, really, really well for opening up cardboard boxes with your box tape on it. Something that was very convenient. It really was. It's not great at opening up plastic packaging, clamshell packaging, but it is really, really good at opening up boxes. So that I found to be incredibly convenient. The last tool is the one tool that I really did not use, and that's the awl. I didn't even use the little screwdriver tip. But what I will say is that some of the things I do, some of the control panels I work in, that little screwdriver actually fits that stuff pretty well. I didn't have occasion to use it this time, but I could see where that could be convenient. I haven't been big on this awl because of the fact that I think an awl should be a pointed tip. I think it should be like a rebar awl or a Super Tool 300 awl or the Surge awl. I just do not think it works well. It works decent, just does not work well. That being said, I didn't really get a chance to use it that much. But I will say that screwdriver probably is going to be more convenient for me personally than the awl tip would be. Now let's talk about some of the things that I didn't like quite as much, why it didn't quite work for me overall. What I found, it's not really the K4's fault here. It's more the fact that I need a little bit more from my multi-tool than the K4 offers. While I still think it is a very, very good multi-tool, it does not compare to a plier-based multi-tool for me because I need that extra functionality. Now, if you don't need that extra functionality, then I think the K4 is a great multi-tool, and I highly recommend it because for its convenience, the ease of use, the fantastic knife blade it has on it. If it were a higher grade steel, if it were 154 cm, man, it would be even better. Oh, it would be fantastic. I would pay a little bit more money for a little bit better blade. But as it is, I carry the Leatherman Surge. And you can see that the Surge knife blade is pretty much on par with the K4. It's a little different design blade, but as far as the overall cutting length and everything, the Surge is just a touch under what the K4 is, but I get so much more use out of the Surge. Now, granted, the Surge is quite a bit heavier, quite a bit bigger, but if you're talking about something like the Leatherman Wave or Charge Series or Rebar, those are a lot lighter carry, have the convenience of being able to pocket carry them when the Wave and the Charge Series, and they give you a good amount of functionality over the K series of tools. Because I have to have plier-based multi-tool for what I do and the type of work that I do, it's just the K4 just does not quite cut it for me. It will work for a lot of other people, just not quite for me. I like it. I really do. I wish that I had... I wish there was times where I could carry it more often than when I do my plier-based multi-tool, but it's just... I guess I'm so used to having the Surge on me at all times that if it wasn't there, I would definitely miss it over the K4. It's just, it can't replace my plier-based multi-tool. And considering this is $80, and if you're going into a Wave Charge Series, you're paying $100. You're only paying $20 more. Or if you even downgrade into, or well, not necessarily downgrade, but if you go a little bit lighter with the Leatherman Rebar, you're in the same price range, but you're getting a lot more tool for your money as far as functionality. Now, from the K4 itself, the one tool that I thought that they got wrong in here, I think that all should have gone by the wayside. And there's two tools that I would have replaced it with. If you watch my channel at all, you'll know that the Wingman package opener is just phenomenally good. It really is, and it is. I think this would have worked very, very, very well in this multi-tool. I think they could have replaced it with that, and it's just because I don't use the awl that often, and I definitely am not going to use that little screwdriver often enough to warrant using it. And also because in times that people are using the awl, that little tip, the way it's designed, if you're using the awl as an awl, it can really twist it. You could really damage that in a big hurry, in my opinion. Now, the other tool that would have worked better for me in this multi-tool is if they would have stuck with the combination tool. This can opener, bottle opener, and wire stripper. And more so for the wire stripping functionality because I use that a lot. So two things that would have been able to accomplish had they gone with something like this. First of all, it's a little shorter. So it would have been set back a little further, and then they would have been able to get us a full three-dimensional Phillips, which I think this definitely could have benefited from. Also, the fact that I use that wire stripper a lot, and I use it to save my knife blade. It just works really convenient. I think it would have worked really well in here had they implemented this type of tool, kind of redesigned it to fit the profile of the magnetic architecture of the K series, but given us the same styling of tool, I think it would have worked really, really well. That being said, some of the other tools like the bottle opener integrated into the screwdriver is actually the bottle cap lifter is actually a lot better than on the combination tool. I just think it would have worked much, much better. It's not that the K4 is bad. It's not at all that it's bad. I really do like this multi-tool. I just find that for its money, it doesn't quite give me enough. Now, if you're comparing this to something like a Victorinox knife, some of like a Fieldmaster or a Tinker or Tinker Deluxe or something like that, the benefit of the Victorinox knives is they're going to be have a lot more function to them. But the benefits of the K4 over those is a couple, in my opinion. First of all, the pocket clip is a big, big thing. Big thing. The next thing is the ease of use on this. Getting to all your tools quickly, fast. I mean, if sometimes you're just in a hurry. Sometimes you just need the ability to go, you're on the go. It's a very, very nice convenience to be able to just flip your knife blade out or all of your interior tools on the other side. And the last thing that I think that this has over Victorinox is, except for the ALOX models, is that the aluminum handle scales on this far superior to those of the plastic scales that you find on Victorinox knives. Now, when you get into some of the ALOX version of knives, those are really nice. I really like those. And I don't think that the plastic version or plastic scales on Victorinox knives are terrible. I don't like the way they scuff up. Some people like that. They like the way it wears in. That's just not me. I would rather have the aluminum scale on there. I think it wears in better. I think it looks better over time. And I like the aluminum scales on these K-Series knives. This is a very good knife. My personal opinion is that while it is a very, very good multi-knife or multi-tool, I think it's a bit overpriced because it lacks, you get the ease of use, but a little bit lacking in the functionality. Would I still recommend it? I absolutely would, to the right person. And this is the same with all multi-tools across all different styles and markets. I mean, it's what fits your needs best, what suits what you do best. And if you don't need a plier-based multi-tool and the convenience, the pocket clip, the aluminum scales, all that stuff matters to you, the length of the knife blade, very nice knife blade, by the way, then I would recommend the K-Series, the K2 or the K4. But if you need a plier-based multi-tool, if you need pliers, this is not the tool for you, and I would look at something else. There's a lot of different options out there from Victorinox and Leatherman, even Gerber and SOG, that might fit the bill a bit better for you. My name is Ben, and this has been a new look at the Leatherman Free K4 after using it for a little while. I know that my opinions don't always coincide with what you're going to use, but I try to give you from my perspective to kind of enlighten you as to what I feel about a certain tool. I think the K4 is a great tool, just doesn't quite work for me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.